You're live! Hello everyone, I'm Santiago and today I'm gonna be testing Dynasty Warriors Origins thanks to KOEI TECMO Games for providing a code of the game. We're going to be doing this on the 1650 as usual, the 3050, 3060 and 4060. How's it going, guys? Welcome. I've been playing this game, well, this game releases in a couple days, but if you pay for the expensive edition, you can play it right now, which I think, personally, I think is BS, but I've been playing this since the weekend, actually. So thanks again to you guys. Otherwise, publishers wouldn't give me access beforehand. How's it going? Hi, Tohuani, Maisja, Varesh, Spencer Walker, Vikas, that's kind of sus. But hey, there we go. So this game, by the way, if you guys don't know, has a demo. If you don't know what Dynasty Warriors is, basically lots of enemies on screen, you mow them down, and there's bosses in the middle in a big battle. And that's basically what it is, lots of characters on screen. That's the gist of it, at least in my opinion. It unlocks in 3 days, but if you buy the expensive edition, you can play it right now. Then, requirements. 12 GB of RAM, 8400 i5, 2600, which is pretty basic, a 1060, RX 590, which is curious, so 6 gigs of VRAM, according to them, is necessary, DX12, and this is for 1080p 30 on low settings. So we'll see. Usually KOEI TECMO doesn't have good PC ports, so we'll see what happens. Sí, Marco, ¿qué dice? Marco Antonio. This is a KOEI TECMO game, right? Yeah, exactly. This is a KOEI TECMO game, and again, I usually really dislike their PC ports because they have very little options or none. They've been improving. They also, I think this is on their Katana engine, actually. So performance usually wasn't great, and image quality, I mean, the TAA was horrendous. So we'll see what happens. The demo seems surprisingly optimized on PS5. Well, I have some spoilers for you. I already made the Steam Deck video. It will be up right after this stream ends. And I was able to get 45 FPS on Steam Deck, believe it or not. Also, I'll keep the music going because it's too epic not to have it on. Alright, so first things first, it has 21:9 as an option, but it's either 21:9 or 16:9, which is pretty curious. It goes from 720 all the way up to 4K. There's full screen, borderless, and windowed. There's dynamic resolution, but I didn't see it as a valid option. It didn't work particularly great. You can unlock the frame rate up to 240, which is great to see. Thank you. These are usually ports that are locked to 60. So this is good to see. Anti-aliasing, TAA, FXAA, or no anti-aliasing. Let's keep it on TAA. ¿Qué dice Diego? ¿Todo bien? Then, the graphics settings are pretty mixed up, I don't know why. So graphics quality, you got low, medium, high, custom, or Steam Deck, interestingly enough. So there's a Steam Deck preset, which is highly appreciated. We're going to go for the high setting. So this is high. In the advanced settings, I'm going to keep the textures on low, just because we have 4 gigs of VRAM. And you can control the amount of characters and draw distance, but let's keep textures on low. So 1080p highest, low textures. Just in case, because they say minimum is 6 GB of VRAM. Yeah, TAA at least can be disabled. And then when it comes to upscaling, there's good news. There's FSR1, FSR3, DLSS, and XeSS. Unfortunately, XeSS and FSR3 look horrible in motion, so in this case I recommend FSR1 actually, which is funny. And there's also frame gen, if you're interested in that sort of thing. But let's start without any upscaling, only native AA. And you can also control the sharpness, which is good to see as well. Anyway, another issue that I have with this options menu, let's start a new game. So there's a good amount of options, all things considered, but some of the settings like upscaling require me to go to the main menu back to the main menu basically, which shouldn't be a thing. I should be able to change that on the fly. Okay, let's go. Okay, without any upscaling, actually, man, FSR3 looks bad. And also the game looks stuttery. What the hell? Maybe it's the FSR3. I mean, the game says 38 flat, but the game is stuttering. It doesn't show up in the front end. Huh. Let's go back to the title screen. Yeah, the music is fantastic. Let me disable the upscaling. Just let's keep it as default. On the Steam Deck I actually had graphical glitches with FSR3. It's weird, there's stutters there, but they didn't show up in the frame time. We'll see what happens. Maybe I enable frame gen and I didn't notice. Does VRR work correctly? That's a good question. Okay. Now it still looks stuttery. I'll keep going and see what happens. Not sure if you guys noticed that. Maybe it's the VRR. Maybe it's my screen. But the frame time is flat, but I see the game being kind of stuttery. But without upscaling, we're getting into the 40s. This isn't stuttery. Okay, then it's probably my screen. Let me see. Oh no, never mind. It's only my screen apparently. I'm seeing the stream, and then the stream it actually looks pretty smooth. Okay, never mind. If it's enough VSync and you don't get screen tearing, VRR is probably running. Yeah, there's VRR, but I think it's just my screen actually, because on the stream it looks correct. So if you never played Dynasty Warriors, this is basically the point of the game. It's fighting hordes of enemies like this, and in the middle of them there's a general that has more health and actually fights you. And it's all about the spectacle. Yeah, the red belt reminds me of Assassin's Creed as well. Like the Altair suit, but black instead. But again, considering this is without upscaling, I mean, this is fine. Also, VRAM seems to be under control, so I might be able to increase those textures. But the music, it really fits perfectly, like you're an OP anime character destroying everyone with just a sword. Also, I put the voices in Japanese, but there's an English dub as well. Okay. So here it comes. I already played this part, but this part is badass. There are no guards. Yeah, I mean, I played Dynasty Warriors 9 when it came out, and that game tried to be open world and everything, and it was really watered down, in my opinion. But this one seems to be going back to the roots of Dynasty Warriors. If you played the PlayStation 2 games, this feels a lot like that, which is a good thing in my opinion. And here we got some cutscenes that are clearly not in-game. These are FMVs. But let's skip this. And here we go. Charge! But artistically, in my opinion, way better than Dynasty Warriors 9, without a doubt. A 100 KOs! 1, 2, 3. I don't know, it's just a power fantasy. But the amount of characters on screen is pretty awesome. Yeah, Neo came out a while ago. There's even a Neo 2 out there. But without any upscaling, we're getting... Well, we're using half the CPU. That's one thing. But it's cool to see so many characters on screen at the same time. They're clearly not the best AI, obviously, and they die in a couple of hits. But really, it does feel like the Dynasty Warriors back from the PS2s. Yeah, I mean, and considering we are technically at the minimum requirement for the low setting without upscaling. Yeah, Neo 3 never happened. Although, despite being the highest shadows, they are very pixelated. Yeah. Neo is 50 gigabytes of PS5. Demo is 24 gigs. Oof. Oh yeah, the game it feels Dynasty Warriors. The thing that this should have been Dynasty Warriors 9 in my opinion. But clearly they're not going for photorealism. Oh, 1,000! But again, considering it's a KOEI TECMO port, I was expecting what it was. Oh, okay, there's no multiplayer, yeah. Yeah, it's single player. And this is what I was talking about. In the middle of all that chaos, there is a stronger enemy that is like the captain. And for this one you need to do some blocks and stuff, but you can disable the UI prompts that tell you which buttons to press if you want to make it more difficult. What CPU do I have? I have a 13th Gen i5. You can check all the details in the description, but it's using half of it when there were a lot of enemies. Yeah, I mean, feels inspired on Sekiro and Wulong when it comes to those closer quarter combat. When it comes to those mini bosses, but it's not as challenging. It's pretty generous when it comes to the timings and all that. Do you have any idea why Spider-Man 2 still doesn't have system requirements? I'm not sure. They usually take that, wait until the end. I'm guessing so that people don't... Let me skip ahead. Yeah, I'm Wanderer. Also, you can play it in English instead of Japanese voiceover. Not a game that has path tracing and 1580 DLSS for frame gen required. Oh my god! Yeah, I mean, it's not a high bar to make it better than Dynasty Warriors 9, but still, an improvement is an improvement. And again, not every game needs to be photorealistic and stuff. We've seen lots of those that were not good. But let me very quickly get out of the game because I have another save that it's a little bit more ahead and it's a bit more fun to look at. Also, we have to try upscaling, definitely. Again, I think FSR3 doesn't look great, but it's a good thing that we can try. Okay, yeah, I'm also doing some other stuff as well. FSR3 quality, and we're lowering a few things. So when we go to upscaling, FSR3 on quality, I'm not using frame gen as of yet. Sharpness, let's keep it at 25. Then when it comes to graphics quality, the models, I'll keep them the same. The shadows, I'm going to lower those. Same with foliage and effects, because there's a lot of them. Ambient occlusion seems to be fine. Again, I've been playing this on the weekend. That's why I say that with a lot of certainty. Draw distance of the models, let's keep it the same. Volumetric fog has an impact in performance, but it's not so bad. And I'm going to increase those textures a little bit. And that's basically it, on 1080p. And my most recent save, I would say, is... yeah, the castle fight. It runs 30 FPS on Steam Deck default settings, not bad. I was able to get 45 on the Steam Deck. Oh man. Guys, FSR3 in this game looks horrible. I mean, just... I'm going to show you because this is a little bit too much. So you might say, oh, okay, it looks okay, whatever. Yeah, but as soon as you start moving the camera, it's a ghosty mess. FSR3 in this game is horrible. So please do not use FSR3 on this one. It's bad. It's bad. It looks horrible. This is one of the few games where I would just use FSR1 on quality. Believe it or not, yeah, I'm recommending FSR1. Despite being a dumb upscaler, quote unquote, it does look better. It still has its issues. You can see that it's FSR1. I should lower the sharpness. But it's nowhere as bad as the ghosting in FSR3. So unfortunately, that's a sacrifice that needs to be made. With zero sharpness. And also there is film grain. What about XeSS? XeSS is also pretty bad. But let me show you. Don't take my word for it. We turn off FSR1, XeSS, let's put it on quality, and a little bit of sharpness. Okay, so here's XeSS. Ugh. And instead of being super... yeah, I mean... it's like FSR3 in that regard. Although it's sharper than FSR3, when as soon as you move the camera, god dang it, this is horrible. So yeah, in this game, at least FSR and XeSS, bad idea. FSR1 is the way, unfortunately, on this one. Not much of a choice. Either that or native res. So we're using FSR1 just for that reason. So, yeah. Never imagined I would recommend FSR1 in a new game. Yeah, it's still not perfect, obviously. It looks like FSR1, but it's not as broken when you move the camera. It's not a ghosty mess. Maybe it's an issue with motion blur, but you cannot turn motion blur off, so... yeah. So yeah, I wish they improved on that front. Also, let us disable film grain. You wanted to play the SE games when you were growing up? Yeah. I mean, I play them personally on the PS2. This feels very close to that. Oops, I have that. So you can claw a few extra frames. But you can be into the 40s. The thing is, the upscaling is not fantastic. Oops. Reduce 2 atoms, let's continue. Is the early access by time zone out or for anyone else on Steam? I think it's at the same time for everybody. Destroy this tower! Oh, these are friendlies. Oh, shower of arrows. Oops. This game also needs an option to play as other characters permanently. I agree. Yeah, that's something that was missing from the previous games on the PS2. Don't need to review key to play the game now. Exactly. If you pay, unfortunately, if you pay for the expensive version, if you pay for the standard version, you play in 2 or 3 days. Unfortunately. So if you bought the expensive edition, you can play it right now. If you buy the standard edition, it's still a few days away. But you can play the demo in the meantime if you're interested. For the reviews, I was able to play it on Friday last week. I've been playing it for 3 or 4 days. But I love the amount of characters and just power fantasy that I'm going through. And my timing for the blocking is still garbage. There we go. Hopefully this is the start of the renaissance of Dynasty Warriors. Because after playing Dynasty Warriors 9 like 6 years ago, I was like, okay, this franchise is dead. Yeah, it's pretty CPU demanding, definitely. This is 20 thread i5. So we have a 13500, i5 13500. That's a lot of threads. I also played this on my main PC, the 4090 with i9 14900K. And I was getting like 60% CPU usage, but at 144 FPS, so... I mean, considering the amount of units on screen, it makes sense that it uses a lot of CPU. Ever played Samurai Warriors? I played Warriors Orochi. Not sure if that's the same thing. Yeah, I mean, we could benchmark CPUs as well, but that's... I don't have the means right now. But if you have at least 6 cores and 12 threads, I wouldn't worry too much about getting 60s. Okay, who's next? Oh, the G. I think now I'll try emulating the old games. Yeah, that's a good option. They're not hard to emulate. 4080 Super here, 7800X 3D, 240Hz monitor, 140 to 160. Awesome. Man, that CPU is a beast. Dead. Oops, the RAM is going to be destroyed. Come on guys, walk! Where's Orochi's Dynasty Warriors plus Samurai Warriors? Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes sense. As a kid I thought they were the same franchise. But I was never entirely sure. Wise man, yellow turban general. Ha! These two atoms. Oh, there's a lot of them now. What the hell? The huge hammer guy. Okay, that guy's gone. Now let's do the final ultimate attack. Dodge this! Orochi has some cool characters in it too. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I love that you could choose multiple characters in those franchises. Anyway, let me get this guy down. Points. We need to open this door ASAP. The people in the RAM are not doing their job. Come on, open the gates. And what drops frame for me the most was when there are sorceries. The sorceries are basically, well, you'll see them right now. It's like a lot of ghost black enemies, like a ghost creatures that have effects going out of them. Let's see if they show up out of the blue. And those have a lot of particles coming out of them. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden Dead or Alive, Late Storm. At that point I didn't know that franchise, so I'm learning about the multi-franchise stuff right now. There we go, the ghost characters thing. It's sorcery basically. But when these show up, the GPU gets way more slammed. And they respawn, so you have to destroy the sorcery source by using this view. So I know it's this way. Is the game out? It releases in a few days, 2 or 3 days. If you paid for the expensive edition, you can play it right now. Otherwise, you have to wait for a few days, unfortunately. It's absolute BS that that's still a thing, but what can you do? No B580, unfortunately not available in my country as of yet. No Intel cards in my country. I freaking hate that. Although they are very inflated right now in price. GeForce, oh, the GeForce Now thing that will be native on Steam Deck, yeah, definitely doing a video on that, because there will be servers in South America. Freak off! Okay, where's the source? That one. Is the CPU bottleneck on Intel fixed? No, the CPU has been working fine for me so far. At least in this game. I tried on a higher end PC and I was able to get 144. Although on that PC I have a 99, but still, the GPU usage was completely maxed out. It's CPU intensive, but it doesn't kill the experience so far. Okay. But once you kill those spectral individuals, the GPU goes back to normal. I wish KOEI TECMO brought back Ninja Gaiden. Well, there's a Ninja Gaiden game in development that is more like a classic 2D game. So if there's interest for that one, I'm guessing they're going to bring it back at some point. They released all the Ninja Gaiden, the main ones, on PC a few years ago. I should do a video on that on Steam Deck. There are ports, but still. Zhang Liang. Oops. You can quit playing bilateral. I've been there. Bilateral is a fantastic game. When I first started playing it, it was very hard to put down. Oops, not enough energy. Okay, he's done for. No, it's not a free-to-play game, unfortunately. 1060 gigs of VRAM, last 2025, low textures. I mean, with low textures here, we're using 4 gigabytes. According to the requirements, we should be VRAM limited, but we seem to be fine. Oh, fine to play, not free to play. Yeah, apparently yes. I mean, if it runs like this on the PC, I'm thinking the PS5 can handle it just fine. When it comes to the GPU part, usually when there's lots of particles is when it suffers the most. All games, it's just this one. 6 gigs, I'll probably say is the absolute minimum. Being generous, if you're buying a card, I wouldn't go for 6 gigs, definitely. I think gigs of VRAM depends on your resolution. I mean, there are exceptions, like Indiana Jones game that doesn't even want to boot with 6 gigs. Anyway, so what I would recommend as settings for this card? It's simple, but at the same time it's a little bit sad. So shadows on medium is fine, foliage on medium. Effects on foliage, you could put this on low for a bit better performance, and maybe medium ambient occlusion. Then when it comes to, I'm forgetting something. When it comes to these options, maybe lower the amount of characters. If you're limited by the CPU. When it comes to upscalers, this is really disappointing. We got all these, but FSR3 and XeSS look horrible in motion, as we saw a moment ago. So unfortunately I have to recommend FSR1 on this one with 0 sharpness, but I think they should improve on that quite a bit because image quality is horrible with the other 2 scalers. But it works on a 1650, which is like below the minimum requirements, quote unquote. So let's swap GPUs. Yeah, it runs on 6 gigs, but technically the game at the beginning said like, no, 6 gigs, screw that. It kinda works, but not officially, to say it in some way. Alright, we're in. Same to you, Alice. What do you think about lossless scaling? Lossless scaling should work on anything, but I didn't have great results on it, in my experience. The thing that bothers me here is image quality. Image quality should be a lot better. 36, I can run the demo on max settings, no problem. weird blur in lots of UI elements. The thing with the UI, it seems to be a very low resolution UI. I don't know why. I tried playing it at 4K, and the UI looks super pixelated in some menus. Not sure if that's a bug, but it's definitely very noticeable. Okay, 3050, let me check that everything is in order. Okay, we seem to be good. Are you going to try Monster Hunter Wilds beta? Hell yeah. This time, I'm going to go for that. There's a lot of stuff on the pipeline to show you guys. What are your top 3 games you're looking forward to in 2025? Apart from GTA 6 that I'm going to play on Series S because the PC version will come later. Not sure if it's going to come out in 2025 though. Might get delayed. That's one of them. And I don't remember which other ones are coming out. I completely forgot. This will be new games 2025. Well, Mafia: The Old Country, the new Doom game, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Those are the ones. Oh, never mind. Metal Gear Solid Delta. Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. Sorry, remake mastered. Okay, on this one, 1080p. We go highest settings. Maximum textures. Maximum textures. And when it comes to upscaling, let's ignore it for now. We're going to try... Doesn't allow me to use DLSS. What the hell? I have a 3050. Oh, FSR1 is on. Let's use DLAA. Hopefully it doesn't look bad. We'll see. Let's see how it goes in motion. You're new here? Welcome. Happy to have you. Okay, let's see how DLAA looks here in motion. Going to zoom in. Okay, still not perfect, but looks way better than FSR and XeSS. Yep. Still doesn't look amazing in motion, but way better than the other solutions. Are you trusting graphics cards? Yes, yes I am. Yeah, not absolute garbage, could be better, but in comparison to the image quality we got with XeSS and FSR3, it's night and day. Maybe if we try another DLL, it could look better. Now I have a horse. Fight! Did you test with Cyberpunk? It's been a while since I played Cyberpunk again. I tried Cyberpunk 2.0 actually, but I should revisit it once we get the new DLSS versions. It's way smoother. Thief. I love that his name is just Thief. Just two items. But there are some drops below 60 here. I think if DLSS looks any good on this one, just by using quality DLSS, we should be good. Hey, another go. Go in. Yeah, there's a world map. The game doesn't try to be open world like Dynasty Warriors 9. So I'm happy that they didn't try to go open world. They just have a world map and go into combat, get out of combat. I don't think this game would have benefited with open world. Man. My blocking is not there yet. I can go into my horse. Ah, that's cool. Okay, okay. I didn't know this. I just unlocked the horse. Okay, now we got real. So they've been playing Elden Ring. I see. Oops, wrong button. Let's charge my horse. Okay, here we go. Charge! I'm from Uruguay, a country in South America next to between Argentina and Brazil. There we go. 2 for 1. IGN gave this a 9. Would you give that? I wouldn't give it a 9, but I played like 3 or 4 hours. Considering that I enjoyed Dynasty Warriors for a while on the PS2, it's a game I enjoy, but I played too little to give it like that much of a praise. But so far it's a fun game, that's what I can say. I'm enjoying it. Let me go back to the title screen, because to change the upscaling, you need to go back to the title screen for some reason. Let's try quality DLSS, let's see what that looks like. Let's increase the sharpness a little bit. We're still on the highest settings, by the way. Okay. It's not great. Definitely better than what FSR3 looks like. But still not great. We should lower the sharpness. Okay, that's better. Yeah, definitely lower the sharpness, but the aliasing on the foliage is definitely noticeable. It looks okay. It looks better than FSR3, but it doesn't look amazing. Yeah, the fine detail is definitely an issue. But with DLSS quality, here it doesn't actually look so bad. The thing is, when we're looking at hair or foliage, it's a classic problem with upscalers. With DLA, it's hidden a little bit better, but it's still there. Hey, Bedweir, how's it going, man? This on PS2 still feels like the same game. It feels like that type of game, the PS2. It's not exactly the same, but it feels like a game from that franchise. It's like, if you enjoy the PS2 games on Dynasty Warriors, you're probably going to like this one. Oops, kicked in the head. And it definitely looks way better than a PS2 game, but it's not the best looking game in the world, obviously. Which I'm fine with. Not everything needs to be hyper-realistic, ray-traced, and whatever. As long as it's fun, I'm okay with it. You thought it was worn on PS2, and that's a fair way to put it. Personally, I recommend you play it on the highest difficulty, so it's a little bit more challenging. I'm playing it like this right now just due to the fact that I need to pay attention otherwise. What about Far Cry 6? Yeah, I made a video on that. I have a video basically on almost every game. Yeah, I'll probably use quality DLSS on the 3050 and be done with it. But the fine detail, they need to improve on that. You can't look for realistic with all these millions of soldiers on screen. Yeah, I agree. But some people don't understand that. And that's okay. Yeah, with the amount of soldiers on screen, imagine if it had photorealistic graphics. That frame rate. What do you think is the RT? Yeah, the 3050 is good as long as it has 8 GB of VRAM, but the price is not good. So, are you ready for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? Yeah, definitely. I hope I'm ready. I hope my PC is ready. We'll see once it releases. Yeah, also the shadow quality is not amazing. Going to level 5. I'm at level 5. Okay. I'm going to see my weapons. Okay, I have the best one. Source salary health for every 100 enemies defeated. Yes, please. And I have my horse. I keep forgetting. It looks weird to have a horse in this situation. Okay, let's save the progress. I think in this case, native TAA, is it bad? Good question actually. Let's keep it on native without DLAA and see what happens. Because maybe I'm complaining about upscalers and it's just the native TAA. I mean, I think on the native TAA it will also be bad when it comes to fine detail. Yeah, it's not as great on fine detail. Feels a bit over sharpened. But it doesn't handle fine detail in a good way. Yeah, no. I moved the camera and it's still ghosting. Let's try no anti-aliasing and see if that is still an issue. Yeah, even without TAA, this is a problem. Interesting. So there's no escaping it. FXAA? FXAA would be even worse. Ooh. Yeah. I think your best bet in this card in particular is to use DLSS on quality and just stay above 60 and that should be good. Okay. Yeah. Let's go back to the title screen. I'm going to swap to the 3060. But so far, I love the music, the gameplay. Again, very reminiscent of the PS2 titles, which is a good thing. I was missing that. And performance, I was expecting much worse, coming from KOEI TECMO. But the fine detail, that's not good. $4060 right after this one. Don't worry, I'll be there. Evening, Alex. How's it going, man? General question, should I upgrade my 4080 Super or do you think it will last till RTX 6000? 1000, you play at 4K. I mean, if you don't mind using upscaling, I'll definitely just keep it. How much VRAM does it have? That's the biggest question, I would say. The radiator got you confused. Yeah, I understand that. It's just for the CPU. Some coffee and relax after a full day. Awesome, man. My day is kinda getting started, actually. Kinda. Alright. But I will keep the 4080 Super. I don't know the VRAM, but if you're playing at 4K, that's very demanding. 16 gigs? Okay, I'll keep the 4080 Super, definitely. And use upscaling when necessary. Yeah, it's a good start. How about the B580? I would like to have one, but unfortunately I cannot get one in my country. Also, prices are inflated quite significantly on the B580 because everybody wants one. So yeah. First Dynasty Warriors must be like 25 years ago. Kinda, yeah. A big part of my childhood. On upscaling, we're going to use DLAA without any extra sharpness. No matter what I do, image quality is not good. And by image quality, I mean the edges when you're moving the camera. There's a lot of breakup and chunkiness. You're welcome. Yeah, 4060 usually get ghosting issue on The Last of Us. But after restarting the PC, the issue is resolved. That's weird. DLAA. So while DLAA doesn't look perfect, I think it looks a bit better than native TAA in this game. But this game doesn't escape the bad fine detail. Especially when it comes to, again, foliage, hair. I think it's good enough when you're actually playing. It's less noticeable than on the world map. On the world map, it's super obvious. Oh, the card logo. Sorry, guys. Thank you for the heads up. There we go, 3060. So here we have 12 gigs of VRAM. As you can see, the game is using like 8 gigabytes on the highest settings at 1080p. But hey, we're getting 60s. We're also going to try 1440p, obviously. Don't worry. I got you. 100. It's so chaotic. Holy hell. Burn in hell. Yeah, the style reminds me of Devil May Cry in a way as well. The flashy combat kinda gives me that vibe, although it doesn't feel like a Devil May Cry game. But it does have combos, so kinda makes sense. Come on, die! Okay, 1080p is fine. Let's do 1440p very quickly. Oh really? I cannot change the resolution without going back to the main menu. Fine, I'll finish the battle first. Okay, my characters are fleeing. That's not a good sign. Waiting for the RX 9070 XT. It'll be interesting. Although I have way more trust on Intel when it comes to the GPU competition. Don't run, you coward. Time to get some RTX 5000 cards. Maybe if we get a 5060 with more than 8 GB of VRAM, I'll think about it. Okay. Oh, this is the guy. You son of a bitch. How much say for the V570 is known? I have no idea, that's a great question. The thing that I care about right now is that the prices. We have a budget card coming soon because it's been a while. What CPU right now? It's in the description. Next live is 3070, 3080, 4070. I wish I could do that. It's a little bit too much though. What comes after this actually is the Steam Deck. I already made the video before this live stream. So as soon as this live stream ends, everybody will be redirected to the Steam Deck video. Your 5500 for your 75Hz monitor, your GPU is a 3080. 5500, it's a Ryzen 5 with 6 cores, 6 threads, right? If that's the case, I'll get something with 6 cores and 12 threads, at least. Oh, I have a horse, I forgot. Let's go to the main guy right away. Let's see if that works. This guy looks important. He's very powerful though, and has a lot of bodyguards. Oof. Yeah, no, I'm dying. Yeah, I'm so dead. Both forces are now advancing. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's die so I can swap resolutions. But it's BS that I cannot swap upscalers and resolutions while playing the game. I have to go back to the main menu. Imagine scalpers, how anxious they are. Yeah. It'll be interesting to check that out. This is a CPU intensive game? Yeah. Especially when there's a lot of enemies on screen. Okay, 1440. With quality DLSS, doesn't look incredible, but it is what it is. We're on the highest settings as well. Let me try another save. One of my earlier ones. I think there are more interesting battles going on. I don't have a horse on those, but still. DLSS quality. Okay, looks a lot better at 1440p, obviously. I don't know what that background means. What do you mean Xeno background? Oh, you're talking to somebody else. What engine? I think this is the Katana engine, which is famous for having bad image quality and fine detail. I have to double check. Okay, so 1440p with DLSS quality, I gotta say it looks way better than 1080p with DLA and it runs better. Definitely helps with the finer details. I know it sounds weird, but I can notice, especially on the UI. The UI below 1440p looks too blocky. That's probably a bug. Yeah, no way this is UE5, obviously, yeah. VRAM still 8 gigabytes, good. Open the gates! They're fleeing. Cowards! Will be VRAM limited on 4060? Probably. Okay. I'm convinced 1440p looks a lot better. Let's try 1440p. Sorry, 4K. I have faith at 4K that it'll solve most of the visual noise when it comes to fine detail. KOEI TECMO engine. So the KOEI TECMO engine is not the same as the Katana engine because I'm seeing similar patterns when it comes to image quality. What I do notice that is important, I'll zoom in to show you what I'm talking about. Despite being at 4K right now, the UI is pixelated. We shouldn't be able to see the pixels. And I tried restarting the game after changing this, but it's not super sharp when it comes to the UI. You can notice this especially in language settings. So I'm not sure if it's a bug, but it's noticeable, especially on smaller screens like the Steam Deck. DLSS performance for 4K, yeah, should be. Yeah, the fine detail is still bad. Oh. I'm guessing it's an engine limitation. Although definitely 4K helps a lot being the base resolution. Ongda. Horse again. Hey CJR, how's it going, man? Nice to see you here. Doing fine. What about you? I mean, yeah, the game doesn't look photorealistic, obviously, because of the amount of units on screen. You cannot really push visuals a lot. But definitely the biggest weakness of this is the image quality in foliage and hair. I think it works pretty well at 4K with the upscaler. But they definitely need to take a look at the image quality on finer detail. Again, grass and all that. Just juggle the enemy around. Ha! Oh, he's so dead. Hey, Hiro, ¿qué tal? Do you want to do a walkthrough on Steam Deck 2? Yeah, that's coming right after this live stream ends. There will be a Steam Deck video. It's already up. I'm just going to publish it as soon as this live stream finishes. And I'll be on the chat with you guys on that one. You are defeated yellow servants in G province. Japanese voice? Yes, I put the voices in Japanese, but you can use the English dubbing as well. Take all the bases. Hell yeah. Imagine just being in battle with all your comrades, and out of the blue a guy with a sword just tears through. Why would you go into battle against these people? I don't know if it has Chinese voices. I'm going to check that in a bit. How do you block that big hammer thing? I have no idea, but I'll take it. Here in 4K is less than 1080p. Maybe it's because of the zone that I'm at. I'm guessing the bigger maps use more VRAM, or maybe I don't know what that could be. But you're right, that's freaking weird. What the hell? Maybe because of the DLSS, but it still shouldn't be like that. Anyway, let's do the 4060. I think that would be interesting. I mean, Alt F4, that would be faster. And let's see if 8 GB of VRAM is fine at 4K. I still haven't bought Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but I'll buy it as soon as it comes out. Okay, it's in 4060. What visuals are better, 1080p native or 4K with upscalers? In the case of this game, 4K with upscalers looks a lot better. Without a doubt. But it's also heavier on the performance. You have worse performance at 4K with upscalers and at 1080p without them, obviously. But definitely image quality is a lot better at 4K with upscaling than native 1080p. $1050 Ti nowadays? No, not today. Maybe in a separate video, we'll see if there's a lot of demand. But at the moment, I'm limiting myself to 4 cards and the Steam Deck. Alright, we're back now, 4060. Let's see how those 4 gigs of VRAM behave. 750 Ti. Good point. The 750 Ti, man. The memories. G100. GT 1030 Enjoyer. I mean, as long as it runs the games that you want to play, who cares, right? I mean, I used to play with integrated graphics back when, yeah, I had like 64 megabytes of VRAM or something like that. It was an older time, but I played games at 10 FPS, a big chunk of my childhood. I know what it's like. Okay, we're on the highest settings. Textures on the highest. Let's see how the VRAM fares. You used to play on the HD 5450. Man, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. The memories. I remember I wanted, before I start that, 1080p max plus DLAA. It runs very well, obviously. After seeing the other cards, it has a big advantage over the 3060 actually. Jet modern hardware returned to Commodore 64. So much text. Near Automata with the Radeon 6850, 1GB DDr4, good times. Those names. I completely forgot about those cards. I think I wanted a 5870, I think it was, or 5880. Or a 5780. The HD 5780. I also wanted, like, if I wanted to go on Nvidia for some reason, I would have gone for a... I was going to buy an 8500 GT. Well, I ended up going for an 8400 GS, and after seeing that basically there was no stock, my parents helped me buy a 9500 GT, but I had a single core Celeron. If you see my first videos, they are on a Celeron. Does it run on Steam Deck? Yes, I'll show you in a bit. Once I finish with the 4060, I'll show you. Also, by the way, if you didn't know, there's a demo that you can play. If you want to check it out for yourself, you can do it. Big praise for putting a demo out before the game comes out. They even have been updating the demo at the same time. Okay, cool. Let's do 1440p now. Yeah, demo is free. The demo is free, the full game is paid. And there you can see how it runs for you, and at the same time see if it's something that you are interested in playing. Let's save. And unfortunately, to change resolution, you gotta go back to the title screen. I know. In 2025, I gotta go to the title screen to change some settings. Let's keep it on quality, actually. It looks good enough with 1440p. DLSS quality. And you also had an 8400 GT with a Core 2 Duo E7300. Ooh, the rain. Ooh. Yeah, I remember when Crysis was the ultimate challenge. The rain actually looks pretty cool. You know what? I would have put this rainy thing at the beginning of the game. I mean, the beginning of the game is still pretty badass, don't get me wrong. But it adds so much more... it feels so much more dramatic with the rain. As a first impression, it would have been way better. But I remember the first time I was able to play Crysis, it was like... I was playing like a 20 FPS at best with lower graphics. The issue that I had is that I had a very slow CPU back then. Whoa! Jesus. Out of the way! So many dudes, yeah. That's kind of the point of this franchise, though. I'm happy that they kept that up. Oops, wrong button. Okay, you missed. Okay, but just 2 atoms. I still keep killing them. They surrender, die. Yep. Yeah, definitely one of those with the most dudes on screen. But can I run Crysis? Yeah. Kinda. So 1440p is fine. But I'm interested in seeing 4K on this one. Because we can. We're going to try frame gen. I don't think we actually need it, but sure. At 4K we're going to do it. We're going to do the following. Let's keep it on quality DLSS. And we add frame gen, and let's see if everything breaks. RTX FG on. Let's see if the game crashes with frame gen. Okay. Oh, okay. Now it changed the frame rate options. Now it allows me to go up to 480. Basically duplicates everything due to the frame gen. Interesting. That's the first time I saw that. So quality DLSS with frame gen on at 4K, and let's see if the VRAM can survive. Yo, Master Predator, how's it going? Not good. I think we're VRAM limited. I should run way better than this. I usually lose performance when I'm using frame gen. Yep. Yeah, no, frame gen, not good. Look at that frame rate. And I also have input lag. I wish I could turn this off while I was playing. What a shame. Let me see if I lower in the textures. Probably gotta restart the game though. Maybe set it to 120. Yeah, but that shouldn't change anything. Yeah, no. It's not working properly. Also, when it says 70, I feel the slowdown. Yeah, might be a bug as well. I mean, I'm going to go back to the main menu and disable frame gen. In the world map, we were into the 50s with frame gen. Without frame gen, let's see the same spot. Again, it was into the 50s. Yeah, I'm getting a higher frame rate without frame gen. And the VRAM usage is way lower. On 1440p might run okay with frame gen, but why would I use frame gen at 1440p if I have over 100 FPS already? I don't think it makes sense. But it seems to be a bug. Yeah, it shouldn't be like that. Let's just put it on balanced DLSS. And let's see what happens. Ooh, a tornado. Okay. Cool. So what you're seeing here is sometimes when there's sorceries, you get these dark enemies that basically have particles coming out of them. More particles than usual when you attack them right away. And there's tornadoes as well in the middle. What you gotta do basically is destroy a few artifacts that cause this sorcery to happen. Once you do that, the performance will go back up. Otherwise the enemies just respawn. Move, move, move. Okay. I think it was... yeah, it was. Really? How convenient. Smash! Okay. Also, there are some typos on the... on the translation. Yeah, maybe performance DLSS makes more sense if you want to hold 60s at 4K. 12400 if your motherboard supports. Yeah, that's a great CPU. Definitely. You can also even use those CPUs with DDR4 memory if the motherboard supports DDR4. So you can, if you already had a DDR4 memory, you don't need to change all of it. That's what I did on my main PC with the 14900K. I used to have an older i7 and I had DDR4 memory. I didn't want to change my RAM to DDR5. The motherboard just supports 10th and 11th. Well, so you probably already have DDR4. So that's a big plus. And you can go for an 11th gen CPU. Maybe instead of going for an i5, you go for an i7 or an i9. They should be cheaper nowadays. And you should get similar numbers to 12th gen on the i5 part. Frame rate is typically recommended for high or very high base frame rates. Yeah, but I mean the base frame rate was into the 50s and 60s, so you should have at least increased it a little bit. I think we're just VRAM limited there. But I agree, you need a very high base frame rate. Anyway, I think that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching this live stream. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did showing you the new Dynasty Warriors game. I wasn't really super excited for this one after playing Dynasty Warriors 9 a few years ago. I was like, okay, this franchise is dead, but this brought me back to the PS2 era games. It reminds me a lot of that. So I'm pretty impressed. Personally, I thought also that the performance was going to be way worse, considering KOEI TECMO's track record with PC ports. Image quality needs a lot of work, in my opinion, when it comes to foliage and hair, especially. And using FSR3 and XeSS makes it look like it looks horrible with FSR3 and XeSS. DLSS looks better, but still, I mean, the game needs better image quality when it comes to FSR3 and XeSS. The base TAA doesn't look amazing either, especially when you move the camera around. So if they can fix that, I think it would be a big difference. Same happens with the options menu. Many options, you can only change them in the main menu, like upscaling and resolution, which kinda baffles me. But other than that, I think performance is better than I expected, considering the amount of characters on screen. And I'm also happy to report that it works on Steam Deck, and it has a demo as well. So let me show you that on Steam. There's actually a demo. If you want to try it for yourself, you don't need to take my word for it. So if you scroll down on the page, you'll see that there's a demo available. It's like 20 gigs, the demo. The full game is how much? The full game is 50 gigabytes, basically. So if you enjoyed the original Dynasty Warriors on PlayStation 2, you're probably going to enjoy this one. And yeah, thanks again to KOEI TECMO for providing a code for the game. I've been playing it on the weekend. It's been fun. And oh, and I'm going to redirect you guys to the video that I did for Steam Deck on this one. So allow me one sec. You don't have to do anything. I'm just going to redirect you. So as soon as this ends, you'll be on that other video. If YouTube decides to actually do its job. Come on, YouTube. I love YouTube's system. It doesn't do anything that I need. Okay, but I do think, at least in my opinion, that the game right now is very expensive. Yeah, it's like 80 euros. That's too expensive. While I'm having a lot of fun with the game, I think you should wait for a sale. Yeah, I mean, this is in Uruguay, this will be like $60 to $70. So it's expensive AF, in my opinion, right now. So it's a fun game, but not $70 to $80, definitely. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks again to KOEI TECMO for providing a code for the game. And I'll see you in a few on the Steam Deck video that I just released. So thanks guys. See you next time. Love you all.